What we wanted to do very quickly, just before we say our farewells, is just for the steering committee of the South Asia SBCC conversation, to just talk a little bit about what we think could be possible as we go forward for the region. And I think what I'd encourage as well is for other participants, please put your ideas, your thoughts, your reactions and your responses into the chat box so that we have then a sort of a coming together of ideas of what we can do and how we can take things forward. So Shohini, shall I pass it on to you to take things forward?
Thank you, Priyanka. One of the things that we saw with this, even with this conversation, is that a lot of people came together. You know, I mean, the COVID RCCE evaluation team, you know, people who looked through the abstracts, it formed, you know, and we didn't give them too much time. We didn't give them a lot of, you know, resources, but they just got together. So how do we keep this spirit of, you know, people coming together to, you know, how do we keep that going? So one of the ideas was that could we probably, you know, have a conversation like this every 2 years? How, you know, as at a South Asian level. The second thought was, can we actually stay in touch through some other, you know, these days it's very easy to stay in touch, maybe a newsletter, maybe a social media group or whatever it is. How can we stay in touch with this community? And the third idea was that, can we actually involve some of the people who are part of the South Asia conversation into the global summit and see, you know, a bigger South Asian presence there? You know, I am part of the global summit, and I don't see too many people from South Asia taking part in actually thinking through the process. So how would that feel, you know, if to have not just South Asian representation at the conference, which is crucial, but also during the, you know, during the process of that. So those were some of the ideas, and I would love to hear from my, you know, colleagues from the steering committee to think through some more ideas, and also for people who are involved in this, in the conversation, in the abstract review and all of that. If you have some great big idea, you know, this is the time to actually say it. So Uttara, Alka, Sanjita, Urvashi, lovely to hear from you as well.
Yeah, I can just jump in quickly. It's been a real honor to serve on this steering committee. I feel that the caliber of discussion and the connections we've been able to make in the South Asia region has really been terrific. And Shohini, I completely echo your points. The richness in the region is something we need to tap into somehow, better than what we've been able to do so far. And in keeping in touch with the region, I think some of your ideas is something we can take forward. But this virtual conference format and making it region specific has created a sort of an equity, because, you know, when you have a conference in Morocco, not everyone can travel or not everyone's abstracts get accepted. However, when we have something like this in the region, no one needs visas or air tickets or hotel bookings, and we are all able to participate across the region. And I feel this is something that's powerful. We need to continue to tap into. I love your every other year idea. And now we've got people hooked in from Bangladesh and Pakistan and, you know, even Afghanistan and the region. I think we need to make sure we have our colleagues across the borders, all of us together, you know, trying to figure out a better format to do this. So I would say, let's keep this virtual energy going somehow. That would be my one thought.
And I think if I can jump in now, a group like ours that we brought together to just keep the energy going, and a secretariat of sorts, a steering committee, a group, a RCCE abstracts review committee, a group of people who would bring this together. Because if it were to be one organization or one of us, or even the two of us, I don't think that we would have really maintained the continuum the way that we did and the energy behind it. So I think I would move to bringing together a smaller group, 6 or 7 organizations, now with regional representation that could take this forward. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it virtual. Let's keep it every alternate year, and let's keep it to a group of people so that it stays. Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, Alka, Uttara, Sohini, and Priyanka. Urvashi, can I go next? Yeah. So I completely agree to what all my colleagues at the Secretariat or the steering committee are talking about. I think the very fact that we've been able to sustain this and this entire conversation of bringing alive such a regional conversation started off a couple of months back, and to see it finally roll out, and now we are towards the end. I think it's a dream come true for us, all of us in the region, and the great support that we had from each other, the ideas, the way they flowed in. It's really commendable. And considering how we were never able to really achieve something like this in the past, when things were normal in the pre-COVID times, we could meet in person. But I think the very fact that we wanted to do something new, sort of break the barrier of the challenges that have come due to COVID-19, cutting across the organizations, the different countries. I think this is great. And a big shout out to the NCCDC team who've really anchored this program, this summit, this conversation. I think it wouldn't have been possible without your support. You guys have been really great. And I really wanted to take a moment to thank you all for, being there from the very beginning. And I think there's a lot of back end work that happens, which most of us, who've organized events like these, particularly virtual events, would understand that it's not one organization which will be able to pull it off. It really needs that synergy. So NCCDC team, a big shout out to all of you, and a great thanks, big thanks to all the partners who came along on board, whether it was the evaluation committee or any other partners who sort of voluntarily agreed to participate during the different stages of this program, of this summit. So that's I'd just like to thank everybody at this point. And moving on to what we should be doing next, I think let's hope we have the Global SBCC Summit in person, and most of us, I'm not sure if we'll be able to attend in person, but I feel like the hybrid version of it will work very well. We have, all of us now are on Zoom meetings, calls, and so on and so forth. So I think we'll find a way to navigate through it. But I feel like something specifically for the South Asia region, and we did have this conversation internally with the steering committee about having a specific South Asia pavilion or something of that sort, wherein we can all get together and just get to know each other, network, share ideas, and maybe look for opportunities to work together. So that's it from my side. Over to you, Urvashi.
Yeah, so a lot has been already shared, and I echo and support whatever the colleagues from the steering committee have been suggesting. It was an honor to be working alongside some of you, and the last 4 months actually have been quite exceptional in that sense. And I do support if we could create a network, a regional network, where some of us can regularly give updates. It's a community of practice, basically, where this sharing can be alive and kicking, and we know what is going on in our countries and our context. So I would love forward this conversation to continue and see how we evolve into a much more stronger, group, and learning from each other. Priyanka, over to you.
Thanks, Urvashi. I just want to invite again everybody who's participating, who's still here with us, to put your ideas, your feedback, anything that based on what you've just heard us say about wanting to continue some kind of community of practice, whatever shape that might take in the region on SBCC. Please put those ideas into the chat. Let us know what you think. We will I'm making a large commitment on behalf of my colleagues, but we will figure out a way of trying to, follow this up with further opportunities for people to provide input. But I think, this right now the chat's live, so that would be a really good place to start putting any ideas or any feedback you have on the way forward and on how we can continue to stay together as a community of practice in the region. We've got 2 minutes. So before we kind of close our first inaugural South Asia SBCC conversation, and I say that with hope that we will have more, but I'm going to hand over to Alka Malhotra from UNICEF to do the thanks on behalf of all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of all of us, Uttara, Sohini, Sanjita, Urvashi, Priyanka, and myself, really, it's thanks to all of you who've been part of this journey with us during these 3 days, listening into whatever we've been able to pull together. Thanks to the SBCC champions who have shared their experiences through the spotlights, because they have lived it, and we know that we could bring in only those many, and very, many more spotlight champions whom we could not showcase. And that's why, in the hope that we continue this event soon enough, a special thanks to the NCCDC team, Asim, Sohini, the tech team that has really, put this together, helped us throughout. And the background, this is not working, the link is not working, but they've just been there, solid rock behind us as we continue this. The volunteers from Lady Irwin College who have been synthesizing, sending questions onto the moderators and putting things together, helping with the report writing. Of course, the core NCCDC team, which is Sonali, Vidya, and the team behind her, and Vimla, who started with us on this journey and has walked with us in spirit as we have brought this to conclusion. And I'm sure she's with us right now. So a special thanks to all of us. And a shout out. Thank you, everybody, for being with us through this journey. Thanks to anybody else who I may have missed mentioning, but thank you so much. Thank you.
With that, I think we're going to close the event. Thank you, everybody, for staying with us till the very, very end. And have a wonderful 2022. I hope it's better than the last 2 years for all of us.